Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in to the CCxRC show. Today we've got another tank on the channel. This is the Heng Long M4A3 Sherman tank. This was sent to us from GearBest to do a review for you guys. And so what we're going to do today, I'm going to let you know the format of what we're going to do. First, we're going to start by unboxing it, show you what comes in the box, the manual, all that kind of stuff. Then we'll show you how to use the controller and how it works. I'll already finish it like you see it here at that point. And then at the very end of the video, I'm going to show you how to kind of assemble this, put all the different accessories on, and then to put the stickers on, which is a little bit difficult. So that's going to be at the very end for people that want to see that. So stick around if you want to. If not, we'll just kind of show you the features and functionality. Most of putting it together is pretty self-explanatory, and the manual does a pretty good job of telling you. But if you do want to see and you want it like a step-by-step, I'll go through that for you at the end of the video. So let's get to unboxing this thing right after the break. Alright, first things first, let's take a look at the box. What we've got here, we've got the 1/16 scale tank. You can see it's making the smoke that comes out of the back here, the simulated smoke that it does. It says max firing range of the motor air gun is 25 meters, which is pretty far. I don't know that it shoots that far. The other one doesn't seem to, but we'll give them that. It shoots pretty well. You can see here showing the 6mm BB bullets that come out. They're yellow. Moving gun barrel up and down, infrared battle functions. That can be done. Each wheel has its own suspension system. The tank can climb multiple terrains, turret turning, pivot turning, all that good stuff. So I don't know if the infrared thing is sold separately. Yeah, it says it's optional down here. So this is probably not going to have that feature set. So let's go ahead and open it and see what we've got. There we go. Lots of stuff comes in these. That's what's really neat about them, is how much scale stuff there is. We'll go through what comes in this little packet here, because there's a couple of fun little things that you get in here. Stickers and all that. But here, basically, is what you get in the package. The tank, which already has some weathering and stuff done to it, which looks really sharp. Make sure you look in the box for these. These are for your controller. You're going to want these. Alright, everybody, here is everything that you get in the box pulled out so that we can go through each of the items. First of all, we'll look at the controller and the little grips or handles that you get here that have to be screwed on for you to be able to operate this. So there we go. Now it's operational. We'll look through some of the features of this later, but it does take 6 AA batteries. But this is how you turn it on, your smoke effects, your volume for the sounds that the tank makes, being able to fire the bullet, machine gun sounds which light up and all that cool stuff. We'll get that all working soon. You get a bag of goodies. You got extra treads in here, pieces, extra wheels that go in there, as well as some of the external parts that you would maybe mount on here that we'll see there's holes for in a minute. As well as another box here of accessories, tools, shovels, all that kind of stuff that goes on to finish the tank, which we will do here on camera for you guys. We'll put it all together. And then you get the little box of the yellow BBs. Ta-da! Alright, here is the battery. It is a lithium-ion battery. It's a 2S 7.4 volt 1800 milliamp hour battery here. The charger for it is a wall charger, just that is basically a balance lead charger, and you will need a US adapter, which is very cheap, and I link in some of my videos. I'll try and remember to put a link for it at the bottom of this video so that you can charge your batteries if you don't have another charger that can do it. Alright, so we've got our radio control, our instructions for how to operate the controller, as well as how to put in the batteries and stuff into the tank. So in the full manual bag, you get the manual, instruction manual, but you also get some stickers to put on it, and you get a target to shoot at that you can build, which is kind of cool. So let's take a quick look inside the manual and see what we're dealing with. Operations on how to control it, how to do the batteries again, parts numbers, all of that for it. Sticker positioning they're giving you here for putting all your decals on properly, and all of the other pieces. One of the cool things in here is they've got kind of like the history of the Sherman tank kind of illustrated at the beginning of the manual. I thought that was kind of cool. These are some great graphics here. Do not shoot your eye out. Do not shoot at people on bicycles. Do not crunch your fingers. Don't let antennas get too close to people's faces. Don't let children swallow things. And don't get hit by a car while operating with this. Yeah, that's funny stuff. That'll be valuable. And finally, what you really all want to see here is the Sherman tank, which feels nice and heavy and very sturdy and solid. The top was taped here. This is where your driver will go into one of these, and the other one will be for your BBs to be put into for shooting, which would be this one. Overall, it's a great looking tank, I'll say that. And again, they're packaged very well in the box. The detailing is very well done. If we flip it over onto the bottom, we'll see that it does require a screw to be able to put our battery in here. Kind of a bummer. Every time that you want to put your battery in or out to charge it, you have to have a screwdriver. I don't like that. The other one uses a little pull system where it's basically a piece of plastic that is on a spring that you pull, and it lets this pop up to put your battery in and out. But not a big deal. The batteries in this last a long time. Typically, it doesn't draw a whole lot of power. 2.4 gigahertz edition. All right, as you can see, I've got my tank is already fully assembled. We will go through putting the stickers on and all the decals and everything, and the just accessories at the end of the video. You can see some of it's just double-sided tape down here, and some of my double-sided tape is just not holding super well. So I'm actually going to get some of my servo tape and do some of these using that. So I've got my battery in already, it's connected, and I just pulled off another piece. We're going to go ahead and just turn it on. I've got it charged up a little bit for you. Alright, so we've got the tank on now. You can see the lights are flashing. We've got to bind it basically to the controller, or just, it's not seeing it. So we're going to turn it on, and then to actually activate the tank, we're going to hit this little lock button here, and that'll fire up the tank. It's got sounds. It does have smoke. I don't have any of the smoke fluid, but this, a lot of times when you get it, it comes on and you can hear it. If I turn off the sound, you can hear the smoke trying to work. You don't want it doing that. You don't want to burn it up, so you hit the little S button for smoke, and that'll turn that off. Usually that is going when you get the tank. And so you've got a volume button here next to the smoke button, and that'll basically cycle through different volumes for you. And then it says this switches the sound effects down here with the G and K. The other left controller here, this is going to move your turret on the top. Up and down, you can see the gun going up. Now it's going down, so that'll move it around, and then when you hit the little bullet shooting button here at the top, and then you push up while holding it, it'll fire a BB. Like so, and it does the whole recoil action and everything. It's pretty cool. You can see there. I'm not sure why mine isn't feeding the BBs into it. I need to look into it, because it works fine on my other one. I'm just having some trouble with this particular one getting the BBs to go in. Maybe I just didn't notice something was blocking in there. So I'll take a look at that here in a second. But the other controls here, back, forward, turn, it all works just from this right controller. And you can kind of do combos at like an angle, and it'll turn and move backwards. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. The functionality of this is pretty quick too, I'll say. But lots of movement on this. It'll go almost 360, but it will hit. And then it'll go all the way back around to the other side of that. But it does not spin past a certain point. It does hit, and you'll hear it start clicking when it actually locks at that point. which is right there in the back. So that is the limitation of it. It just will not freely spin. But it's got working lights on here on the back and on the front here, and actually there's a machine gun button here. You can see that it's firing. If I turn the sound effects on, so there's the working gun. The amount that you push on the stick is going to affect the speed that it goes because it is proportional, so you can kind of make it crawl or you can make it really go pretty quick. Now it's sliding out on this table here, but if you had better ground to grip to, it would do a lot better as far as speed. But it's pretty quick. Overall I like the speed of it. The decals and everything, if you get those all put on, definitely do give it a really nice look. I just need to quickly look at mine to see why the gun isn't firing. Alright, so that is just a quick look at the operation and functions and features of this tank. Mine is not actually firing, so I have to look into that. The BBs aren't really loading in right, and I don't actually think that the gun is going all the way up. So I think I might have a little jam in mine, and I don't know if that was due to some glue or something that I might have put in here. I need to take a look at some of the things going on with this. So other than that, everything else is operationally working. It's still a lot of fun. The shooting feature is kind of like one of the show-off pieces, so I really want to have that feature and function working on this, so I'm going to work on getting that, and my son's going to want it. So I have no doubt it's probably just a little jam or something in there. I've watched a lot of videos on these, and I have not seen other people have that issue with it, so I think it's just something I might have done. But I did all of the assembly first before I actually did the little kind of test for you guys here on the bench, so I don't know if I did something. Anyway, overall, assembling it, it's really beautiful. It does take, a good hour to put everything together, longer when you're videoing it, so my time frame might be a little skewed. But I'm going to leave you guys with the assembly of this thing and give you some tips on assembling or putting on the stickers because they're a little bit of a pain to work with. I really like the look of this tank out of the box, especially when you compare it to the German Panzer tank. Although this one did work, it's really huge, and that's kind of cool about it. Everything's just massive. The details and stuff on the paint job on this one with kind of the dark spots and the camo and the weathering looks just super awesome on this one out of the box. But again, like I said, this one's worked great for me. I'll leave links to both below, and so you guys can take a look at these if you want. They are a lot of fun to run, and it should be even more fun when you have multiples, especially when I get this gun up and working properly. So thanks for tuning in. As always, stick around if you want to see the rest of the video. Everybody else, have fun RCing. We'll catch you next time. See y'all. Alright guys, we're just going to work through the instructions here from kind of left to right. Working through this. I've already put together the D4, D5 pieces and made this little tank or a little barrel, and it's going to go on the front here, but these things mount with double-sided tape, it looks like, and so I'm going to wait to do these until I can kind of get all of them spaced out, and I'm going to work on some of the things that are going in that are more I guess permanent pieces. So I did the little gun turret here that sticks out. That is free floating. It's not part of a tree. And then these are the C3 pieces that I'm working on now. Apparently I didn't hit the record button, even though I did, but it didn't start recording, and so the camera went to sleep. And I had been talking and doing this, but it wasn't recorded, so I'm just catching you up now. So these are the two C3 pieces that we're putting in right there on the sides. I'm moving forward along here, see what else. We've got C1 pieces that are going to go up on the top here, and so we'll do that next, like so. So those two up there are going to be your C1 pieces I just installed. Those snap in pretty tight, and I'm not going to glue those. I've got another C1 piece that goes up on the top here. That one feels loose, so I'm going to go ahead and put a little just dab of glue, just a dab on them, and slide it in here and hope that it doesn't come out. There we go. Next we have the B10 piece, and so this piece is going to slip in right here. again, glue. Just a little bit. There we go. So next we're going to be looking at the B12 piece. Goes right up here on the top. The B2 piece. And now we'll work on putting together the big gun that goes up on the top here. So it's going to require multiple pieces being put together in order to build it to put on top here. Looks like there's 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces or so. So we'll start with the little side piece of the gun we'll put on here, and these are B pieces. These are all black pieces. First, I'm going to just kind of do a pre-assemble. Make sure I do it the right way. Alright. These I don't think I'm going to glue actually, because I may want to do a little bit more stuff with them in the future to make them more scale. And I might want to be able to open them up and cut them out. I don't know, we'll see. These are not bored out very well. Worst case scenario is I will just cut these off and glue the whole lid on, which might be what I do here. Sometimes you just gotta do things your own way. So I did end up cutting off, and I'm just gonna glue it on, just like so. And we'll call it good. So we're just gluing this together. Then the next pieces will be here, which we'll want this to be able to turn, so we're not gonna glue this, of course. And this will snap onto the gun and hold it together, so again we will not glue the gun. So the way that they show it on the boxes, you're gonna have the U shape with the fade or the angle going like so. So I guess you can probably shoot down. So that's how they show it. And it'll fit right up on the top here. And then we'll insert the little cartridge here on the side. These black pieces don't really seem to fit together real well, but they are nice and tight, so that's good. But I am going to put a little bit of glue. No, I want this to be able to come on and off if I need to shrink it down. So we're just going to put that on like so. It's kind of wobbly. I'm going to glue it. Just going to hold it here for just a minute for the glue to set. If I need to break this down, I can still take it all the way apart except for the base. And so I can get it pretty low profile. So that's why I'm going to glue the base in. So we need the C3. I'll go ahead and finish this front part while this all dries up, and then we'll move to the back. Alright, it looks like it's a free floating piece actually, the C piece, which is like, it looks like extra tread, and that's going to go on the front. Double-sided tape with our barrel and our tire. So those are all going to mount on the front here. They do give you some double-sided tape, but you will have to cut it down to smaller sizes. So we've just stuck a little bit of double-sided tape on the back of this tread, which we're going to line up here on the front. It'll go like so. Alright, so just stuck a little bit of double-sided tape on the back of our barrel. We're going to see where our tire is going to be, and then try and line the barrel up kind of centered between, keeping our gaps somewhat equal. Just going to line this up and push her down in place. But we do have another tire that we're going to mount right above it up here. I'm just going to take a larger portion, just stick it right on the middle of the wheel here, push it down tight, and see if pushing this one down will stay better than the lower one. There's a couple other items that we'll be putting in over here. Our C2 piece. These look like they're maybe just a little bit wider than the C1s, And then the next thing is we're going to take these little jerry cans and glue them together, and they're going to double-sided tape stick right up on here. The double-sided tape that comes with this, I don't love, so if you have other kinds that you maybe use like servo tape or things like that for other remote control items you might have, might be more advisable. So I'm just going to run a little bead. I'm barely putting any out, and then I'm trying to smear what I do put out so that it's very, very little. Don't want it bubbling out and creating ugliness for us to have to look at later. So we'll just snap these together, and then we will get our double-sided tape and mount it right here. So I'm just cutting the pieces that came with it, cutting them down to whatever size is needed for the object that I'm putting on. I like to use quite a bit so it doesn't rock if you just have a small amount in the middle, so I try and use, you know, a fairly good sized piece on here, and then that way it'll make good contact. Just gonna set it there for a second, not push down too hard yet. I'm gonna get the helmet and go something like that. So now I'll push these down and hold them for a minute. On to page 2. There's quite a bit going on the back of this tank, I'll say that much. So the first things we can start with are the cool detailed shovels that they have here, multicolor, painted. So this sneaks right here at the very back of it. It kind of seems frail, so I just decided to cut it off with the knife. And these are snapping pretty good. Not going to glue these because they're kind of a snug fit. Next we'll do the axe. We have another C2 piece. So then we need, it looks like an axe head or a mining tool, it looks like. Pickaxe. Goes there. I'm going to have a tool back here, this big old sledgehammer. Like so. Whoa, the wrench went flying. Alright. Just lots and lots of pieces, which makes it really, really cool and gives it a lot of scale look to it. These little pieces here are going to go with these little step-ups in here are going to be upward. See a little ridge there? Those go up is how it looks on the book when you put it on the back there. And so these are not attached to anything. These were free floating, and I free floated one somewhere else. Alright, so we're making good progress on the tank. We've got the B7 and D7 and D6 pieces up here. These are just going to be double-sided taped on here as well. So as well as all of these little bags. So we just have to get them cut off of here or broken off, whichever way you prefer, because they're just going to be stuck right on here. And then these smaller ones are going to go right here. On the underside, oh, in the back here we're going to need a couple of pieces that go in C4 and C5. Here's C4 and C5 pieces, and these are going to go up underneath the tank. The C5 is going to go on the left, and it's pointing with the little nub in, so that slides in there on the little axle. The other goes, the C4 goes on the other side with the little nub facing to the inside. These come out real easily, so we're gonna glue these. There we go. And we've got one more piece that's got to go in here, and it says the B11B4. So here's the B11, and it says this is the B4. So this is basically going to be a hitch. Go. We've got a couple more pieces to put on that that we missed. There's a few more spots on here that we need to find out what is going to go on there. Looks like it's up here at the top. So we've got A1 going on here. I'll be a little more liberal here because these little pieces are going to be hidden. So if a little bit of glue shoots out, it'll be okay because this will cover it. I should have dry fit it first. There it goes. That was a tight fit. Alright, so we're going to do C1. Slide it in. As well as the B8. We'll go right up here. Another C1 and a B7 that'll go. B7 will go right up on the top here. Another C1 piece is going to go there. There. B13, yeah, it does. It's going to go right. It's going to go right in the back. Like so. And then the driver will go with double-sided tape up on the top. Now we need to see where the stickers go. So the way that these stickers work is you'd use scissors and you'd cut them out around the different pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and use my knife and cut out the star. We'll cut out the whole paper, just kind of like a square around it. Because what you're going to do is we're going to peel this and use the clear part to line it up. So we got to make sure that the clear part's not going to interfere with placement, but other than that it can be a little bit overlapping. So we need this backing here to pull away and only keep the sticker like so. And we're going to find where it goes, holding this, lining it up where you want it, and you're going to push it into place. And I'm going to put a little tab on this plastic, this clear, so it'll make it easy for me to peel that back later. And so we want the white to stick, and then we'll peel the clear part off later. So we're going to just kind of really make sure it's on there well. We're going to wait to fit for 15 minutes, and then we'll pull the clear plastic down off of there. We're going to give it time to adhere. Alright guys, I'm not going to lie, taking these stickers off has been really a testing the patience. So I've gotten a couple of them off here. You can see they did alright. Even this back little number here I've got off. And this one actually was one of the easiest, surprisingly. This one isn't really wanting to come off, so I've taken just this little ammo box and I've just kind of really pushed again, trying to get those stickers to adhere. So when you peel it off, they'll stay. So I've got down here in the front this HL12. So I'm going to do the same to that again. I peeled this one off. The 8 started to stick, but I was able to get it to stay. I had to use my knife and kind of just hold. So I've just kind of been peeling up a little bit and then trying to get it as flat as I can, fold it over before I start. Now it's hard now that I'm filming. I wasn't filming the other ones, but I'm trying to give you a view. So get it as flat as I can, and then I just try and pull, and you'll see the two start pulling up as well. Now in theory this is like when you have vinyl signs made for your car windows or for a vinyl sign. You put a backing on it and then you stick it on, and then when you peel across like this, they'll stay there. So there, we worked in a different direction and we got it to come off, and it looks pretty good. So when it works, it looks good. Unfortunately here, I tore off part of my corners on my star. We'll try this back one again for you right here. This one has a little bit more to show. So you just peel this, you fold this over like so, and then you try and get it as flat and pull straight across, keeping it flat as you're pulling. And it'll, a lot of times it'll break free. So the U's coming loose, it's trying to stay with it, but there it did end up staying down. So far we're getting most of these okay. Keep it flat as you peel. Don't pull up, and it'll allow them to break free. Then you just want to make sure you run back over them again. Not very easy. This one's going to be really tricky because of all the detailed work on it. And so you can see as I pull, the hat wants to come up. You see it pulling over with it? So that's what I'm running into with this one, is how am I going to get this started? And then each new point is a new starting point. So there I just rubbed it and it stayed down. I'm getting everything except the head is wanting to come. No, stay. And this is where if I take my knife, I might be able to pull it away and hold it down like that. Alright, so, okay, it looks like we're going to get the horse. Oh, don't peel up. Whatever this little marking is down here, there, we got it to stay. Oh, we're tearing though. Whatever that is tearing. Maybe I'm not staying flat enough. And the problem is now the letters are starting to move too down at the bottom. So I got to be careful because the A is starting to pull as well. So I need to find a way to come across and maybe come from a different angle to get that. Close enough. Close enough, people. When you look at it from far away, you'll never know.